My poem needs a home, somewhere between where and why. I let my poem go in the middle of my fall, but wouldn't you know it, it followed me all the way down. So I've tried leaving it in mailboxes and slipping it inside bus riders in the early morning shuffle, and yet my poem somehow manages to evaporate straight into thin air and reappear as a wave of thought hovering around my room until I'm calm enough to think it 30 seconds before entering the sleep world. The science behind this is in the basement of your imagination, next to a chest of pictures and a 3-letter copy of this poem. My poem needs a home because I can't stand the thought of being shoved inside a book behind other poems. My poem needs a home where it could stretch and grow like an underground river. In your mind, this poem wants to grow up to be a waterfall of letters and numbers, and I alone can't provide for this poem. It belongs to anybody who could see it. This poem wants you to know it could move. See, it's easy to speak poetic, but can you live poetic? This poem shall defeat anything that competes, because this poem will surrender to anything that loses. This poem likes it when you respond to the wind. This poem misses that fan. This poem likes it when you bow down to yourself. This poem comes along with the question it drags 3 blocks behind. Have you ever felt the 22nd day of being homeless? All your knots get untied, and all you're left with is the 36-year-old skill of pounding liquor like a rich man's son. Oh yeah, and a collection of 583 self-proclaimed poems that you lift up to the night on the eve of your loneliest birthday, and you set fire to your work. You made fire of your work. You trapped fire to your work, but you burned it back to where it came from. Cheers to madness, Grandpa. I am 6 times your lunacy. I have finally screwed the world because it stopped trying to make love to me. And what did I learn? What did I learn? To never apologize for poetry. You don't apologize for your children. My poem needs a home where it can feel useful. The kingdom of heaven is a kingdom of uses. The only proper poetry is passion poetry. Precisely. What more is to a person than his thoughts? Precisely. What more is to a poem than his words? Precisely. You dress your thoughts with words. You dress your thoughts with words. Look for the wise and open yourself. Give a poem a home, and your home will become a poem. Here, take this cluster of words and make something out of it. See, it's easy to speak poetic, but can you live poetic? Thank you.